Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. As I mentioned to you in one of my previous videos, I'm a huge movie and TV show geek, and when I was left in Latvia for a couple of months, when Vitaly left to Norway, I was constantly watching everything on Netflix. According to the statistics of my previous video, I noticed that you actually like the topic about movies and TV shows, so this is going to be a little bit different, but still about the same topic. We are all used to binge watch American and British TV shows, but then one day I sat down and I thought, do Norwegians have something like this, like truly binge-worthy TV shows? So I googled it, and to my surprise I discovered that actually I have already seen some of Norwegian TV shows on Netflix. So these shows were translated into English, so I didn't realize they were Norwegian. This video is going to be about that, so I will suggest you 3 Norwegian TV shows that you might like to watch. So please bear with me because I have prepared 3 different TV shows for different kind of tastes. One is going to be a little bit related to Norse mythology, one is going to be real horror, and the third one is going to provide you with a healthy dose of humor. And so, let's start! I am going to start with the classics. As I mentioned before, one of the TV shows is related to Norse mythology, and the interesting and most exciting fact about this TV show is that it puts the Norse mythology elements into modern life. The TV show is called Ragnarok, and its first season was released on Netflix on January 2020.
The show takes place in a fictional Norwegian town of Edda in Hordaland, western Norway, which is influenced by climate change and the industrial pollution caused by the factories owned by the Jotun family.
Jotuns are actually Jotuns, giants and giantesses that are living in this fictional city. They are challenged by a young teenage boy called Magne, who later on discovers that he's actually an embodiment of Thor. So Magne, aka Thor, starts to fight against Jotun family, so to save the planet and environment. If this doesn't intrigue you enough, you must be weird. What is also important, the actors in this TV show are truly eye candy, so it's also pleasantly to watch. Ragnarok has received different reviews, starting from quite critical, ending with wow, well done.
It's been called angsty and eccentric climate change fiction and was also compared to famous Twilight Saga. The harshest critique mentions it feels very Danish, as the show was co-production of Danish and Norwegian producing companies. However, numbers do not lie. IMDb has rating of 7.5 and Rotten Tomatoes viewer score is 81%.
But anyways, I'm giving kudos for putting the Norse mythology in the modern location.
I think that there's a high level of interest in Nordic and Scandinavian culture, and one thing was Scum that became so big and was a very natural kind of presentation of how youth in Norway are. And then this again isn't as, I mean, it's natural, but it's also a different way of showing it with Northern mythology, Norse mythology. I think that people are wondering what that is if they don't know anything about it from the start.
And I must be honest, I'm very excited about the second season of this TV show. It is going to be released very soon on May 2021, so it's very close. You still have time to watch the first season and continue with the second season, who's coming out very soon. Number 2 goes to all the horror and creepiness lovers. This TV show kind of reminds me of American Horror Story and also a little bit of Black Mirror, but it's kind of Norwegian edition. This horror series anthology was released in the March of 2020, and wait for it, it was released on the 13th, which was Friday.
An interesting fact, idea maker and screenwriter Kjetil Indregard wrote the 6 episodes of the show at his regular pizza restaurant in Oslo. I am not an office person. This is a short distance from where I live and I think it's very nice to come here. I've been doing it for almost 10 years. Blood Ride is written only at table 43. There is something about the combination of horror and humor and I think it's fun. I think the two reactions are pretty close in the brain, he revealed in an interview.
So what to expect from the show? First of all, I must say that I also watched this TV show. We both watched with Vitaly and we went through all of the series within the time span of 2 days. This means a lot because we don't usually binge watch so much, but this was easy to watch, it was scary enough. And yeah, what do reviews say on the internet and what do other people say about this TV show? There are mixed reviews. Some of them kind of say that it's not enough to compete with TV shows like I mentioned before, American Horror Story or Black Mirror. Still, there are so many reasons why you should watch and why you should try it. And as I mentioned before, we liked it, it was entertaining enough. The first reason is the plot. Each episode has its own story, but each of the episodes starts with this location, which is a bus with a creepy bus driver and creepy passengers. Each episode starts with one passenger getting out of the bus, and this passenger becomes the main character of that episode. The second reason is variety. As I mentioned before, each episode has its own story. And you have everything, starting from simple creepiness, then you have paranormal activity, then there is mystery, so you don't get bored. Here are some little spoilers so that you can get the idea. One of the episodes is about sacrificing animals, and it kind of reminds you of Stephen King's Pet Cemetery. Then there is an episode that involves a little bit paranormal activity with some ghosts in old school. Yeah, some good old horror, and this is what we came for.
But I don't know if I can do that. You must be careful. I think I did something very, very bad.
Third reason is that it's easy to binge watch this TV show because each of the episodes are around 30 minutes, so you can easily go from one to another and you don't actually feel the time once you start watching that. If you are not a softie and you like horror, you will most probably also appreciate Norse humor. For some of people it might feel quite heavy, but for me it's okay. But yeah, I will get to Norse humor a little bit later when I will be talking about third TV show you should try and watch. And now let's chill down after horror and have a good laugh. I don't know why I was avoiding to watch this TV show for such a long time, but once I started to watch it, I must be honest, I started to watch it a couple of days ago. Oh my god, this is so Norwegian, this is so funny, this is so entertaining. And also, just wanted to mention huge thumb ups to Norwegians who know how to have a good laugh about themselves, and this actually is a very great quality. And yes, its location is the place where the Winter Olympics took place. And this TV show is actually American and Norwegian co-production. However, it is so Norwegian, believe me. I felt very entertained in regards to the plot of the TV show, especially because I'm also like an immigrant in this country. And the leading actor actually looks like Robert De Niro. And I will explain you now the plot and you will understand everything.
Lillehammer centers around Frank the Fixer Tagliano, a New York mobster that moves to Lillehammer under the name of Giovanni Johnny Henriksen. He moves to Norway as a part of Witness Protection Program. He really has to get used to the life in Norwegian community. Along with that, he falls for a young teacher and also returns to his old ways of dealing with things, as he was doing when he was a mobster in America.
Although it's full of exaggeration, it still shows most of the assumptions about Norwegian people. Like, for example, it's always snowing and it's cold. They all are wearing those sweaters with specific ornaments. They all are eco-friendly. They have quite a lot of immigrants. In short, it's a very high quality dark humor wrapped in the location in Norway, and it kind of also reminds me of TV shows like Fargo, The Sopranos, especially Sopranos, and I think if you like those TV shows, you will also appreciate this one.
So when we were writing the first script, we read in the paper that Steven Van Zandt was coming to Norway to play a concert with Bruce Springsteen. And through some connection in the music industry, we were able to set up a meeting in Bergen. The mafia and the crime element really appealed to young people, but for us the designing principle in the series was that Frank Tagliano, the mafia guy, he comes to Norway and he faces the same challenges and problems that any immigrant does.
He is never going to be completely integrated into that society, but he is becoming a bit Norwegian and part of the culture, says Van Zandt, portraying the lead character. The way to make this more international is to make it more Norwegian as we can make it. I want to know every nuance, detail and eccentricity that people might find interesting or different. I want to make Norway a character in the show, because it's a complete mystery to most people. No one knows a thing about it, so I wanted to reel it at the best way I could.
On Rotten Tomatoes, the show got 91% score from viewers, and IMDb shows 8 from 10, and I think these scores are really high. There are already 3 seasons released. It was announced that there will be no 4th season. However, lately there has been a talk that might lead also to the 4th season, and I am really looking forward to that. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you found my suggestions about TV shows from Norway very useful. Let me know down in comments if you have seen any of these TV shows. Also, maybe if you have started to watch them after this video, write me down a little bit later how did you like them. And also, Norwegians who are watching this video, please write down in comments. Maybe you can suggest me some other movies or TV shows that are Norwegian produced. I would be very happy to watch them and express my opinion about them. That being said, make sure you have subscribed to the channel, press the notification bell, press the like button, and yes, see you next time!